Revolution born in the DeFi space. EMP Fusion, leading the race. For EMP to energy, the cycles turn. Passive income streams, it's what we earn. Sacrifice and stake, let your journey begin. In the heart of fusion, everyone wins. Daily rewards, no limit in sight. Building wealth in the digital night. Fusion ignites, the future's in view. Decentralized growth for me and you. Infinite loops, rewards on demand. Together we thrive, in fusion we stand. EMP empowers, energy thrives. In this ecosystem, our wealth arrives. No more middlemen, no centralized ties. Just smart contracts and community ties. The marketplace beckons, a gamified land. With strategy sharp, we take our stand. One single stake, rewards abound. In Fusion's loop, prosperity is found. Fusion ignites, the future's in view. Decentralized growth for me and you. Infinite loops, rewards on demand. Together we thrive, in Fusion we stand. Liquidity pools, where dreams are made. With every transaction, the system's paid. Sustainable growth, a vision so clear. Fusion's ecosystem, year after year. Compounding wealth, it's the Fusion way. Earning rewards every single day. From EMP to energy, the cycle flows. A digital empire, watch how it grows. Fusion ignites, the future's in view. A decentralized world for me and you. Infinite loops, rewards on demand. Together we thrive, in Fusion we stand. The journey's simple, the rewards are vast. In Fusion's loop, wealth grows fast. Sacrifice your EMP, let energy lead. In this ecosystem, you plant the seed. Sustainability, that's a Fusion plan. A financial revolution for every man. With innovation at its very core. Fusion unlocks the future to explore. So join the movement, take your place in the Fusion ecosystem. We embrace a decentralized vision, bold and true. With EMP Fusion, the future's for you. Fusion ignites, the future's in view. A decentralized world for me and you. Infinite loops, rewards on demand. Together we thrive, in Fusion we stand.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP Money, our official live stream every Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. We have another jam-packed episode today. This is our weekly AMA where we give all the latest updates and everything that we have going on. It's going to be a crazy next week and a half as we roll all this out, and it's just never a dull moment in our ecosystem. So lots of bullish things to go over, but before we get to that, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and help me introduce my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA. How are you?
Hey guys, hope everyone's having a good day.
Awesome. Yes, we're excited for the markets. Things are good. My camera's acting up, so you're gonna have to just bear with my avatar tonight. But lots and lots of updates. So get ready. As usual, if you have questions while we go through all this, please type them in the comments on either YouTube or X. We are dual streaming to both platforms. And yeah, another really productive week. And we have a lot in the pipeline as well. So, all right, let me go ahead and pull up the notes for today. Bear with me one moment here. All right, it would help if I'm prepared, right? All right, we have it going here. So we have a ton going on. Again, we're almost taking the next week like hour by hour, it seems, because there's so much rolling out. We're trying to prepare all of you. We're trying to keep everybody in the loop. It never fails that we work on something for 2 or 3 months straight, and then all of a sudden everything launches all at once. It was the same way under EMP when we were just by ourselves. And now it's the same way with EMP and DexFi and everything else. So, first things first, we were going to bring up the Eshare halving. So, we actually completed the halving. So, we, again, I'm so bad with dates and times, but we were thinking it was mid February, but actually it was last week. So, the devs have completed the Eshare halving. What that means is there is half as much eShare than in the emissions than there was in 2024. So again, eShare technically is still inflationary, but with the fees that we're using on the marketplace in Fusion, that burns eShare, and we've done massive burns, almost 10%. Now it's a little less again because of the halving, which we'll talk about. But nearly, I think it's 8% now has been burned, and we will continue those burnings where we actually burn more eShare than what is emitted. And honestly, this is probably the last year that eShare is even inflationary to begin with. So that is super bullish. What it means is, again, we every year there's a certain amount of eShare that is emitted. The that increases the maximum supply, but just like Bitcoin, it happens less and less each year subsequent. So again, as an example, I think the numbers are pretty close, but I think last year emissions were about 12,000 each share for the whole year. This year is only 6,000 each share. So again, halving of the emissions, and this creates scarcity. It reduces inflation, and in theory, it drives the price of each share up, especially as we continue to build utility around eShare. So the way emissions work, we did have to mint all the eShare at once. So again, I think we went from about a 62 or 68%. I'm sorry, 68% total. Good lord, I did it again. 68,000 total eShare to about 72,000 total eShare. We do have to mint it all at once, but then it's just dripped out through emissions for the whole year. Again, you can see all that on chain, and honestly, it is, even though technically it's inflationary, we're in a deflationary state with eShare. So the short answer is, the only question is there anything we need to do? And the short answer is no. We will talk about a little bit here in a minute what to do with your eShare. And now that we have DexSwap live, but overall it's the same token, nothing you have to do. And all this is really bullish for the future of eShare, and getting a position now, because in the future you may not be able to get as big of a position as we continue to ramp up uh, uh, all the volume and all the price appreciating factors that go into eShare. So does that help explain, LA? I know we had some other questions too.
Yeah, just that everything was done successfully. There's nothing that you need to do on your end, and this can only lead to potential value climbs in eShare when we have less coming onto the market every day.
Yep, 100%. And again, too, just to remind everybody, the emissions that eShare does give out right now goes to Fusion. So, I know that we've said all along, obviously APR is lower than we hope, and we're putting all the economic energy into peg recovery, but you still get some rewards in Fusion, and that is done through the majority of the eShare emissions at the moment. So, if you wonder where those rewards come from, that's one part of it for sure. So, and again, as we reduce the emissions of each air, then the real yield or real revenue starts kicking in to supplement those rewards. So super bullish. And on everything we say we do, we do. So there you go, LA. All right. Up next is DexSwap. You want to do a little quick recap on DexSwap, LA, and then I'll get into some bullet points.
Yep, for sure. Awesome. So, as you know, DexSwap soft launched last week, and this week we're moving on to our EMP migration, which is slotted in for tomorrow. That's not a hard date we're putting out there, but likely will be tomorrow. We'll have a full section on that on tonight's call. But for tonight, let's answer some questions that are coming up surrounding DexSwap. So, AJ, is the swapper live, and is there liquidity to perform swaps?
Yes, so the short answer is the actual exchange is live. The swapper, in terms of like, converting your EMP from old EMP to new EMP, we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, technically the DEX or swapper, meaning converting one token to another, is live. So again, I'm going to pull it up too so we can go over some of this. But just remember that there is very low liquidity to begin with. So you don't necessarily want to do big transactions. You will want to trade eShare though, because that is the most liquidity, even more so now than PancakeSwap. So if you're trying to just trade BNB or ETH or USDC or any of that, you're still better off probably swapping on PancakeSwap. But you do want to start adding liquidity to DexSwap because again, the more liquidity we get, the better trades, the bot protection is in place, all of that. So let me go ahead and pull up just so everybody can see here. All right, there you go here. All right, apologies here. Hopefully you guys can see. LA, can you see? Do you know? I think we're good.
Yeah, it still looks small. Oh, now it worked. Yep.
All right, perfect. So this is DexSwap.com. Again, you can see a little bit more about it. Obviously, we're live on BSC right now. Eventually, we'll be on all the other top EVMs. The goal is to do Arbitrum next, and then Pulse and Manta after that. We may actually even consolidate Manta, which we'll talk about it later AMA. But you can see volume, users, LP. Obviously, this is a soft launch, and only those of you that participate in AMAs really know about this or are part of our community. And we'll ramp this up dramatically in the coming months. It's just we have to get the ball rolling and get the infrastructure here. So there's a lot of great stats you can see. You can, like I said, if you go to trade, that will be what LA referred to as the swapper. Again, if you're buying eShare, then you're good to go. Again, the best liquidity is BNB eShare right here. And we actually just updated our eShare listing as well. So we have an advanced listing on eShare. All the logos should be populating, but that's how you're going to want to buy eShare now. So again, if you have liquidity on PancakeSwap for eShare, go ahead and remove it. If you want to pick up eShare without big price impacts, it's only going to get better and better over here on DexSwap. All the other assets you want to try to trade, I would still say use PancakeSwap for now. But we are building. Again, you can see 41,000 liquidity in eShare BNB, and all the others have about 1 to 2,000. And then we'll have ETH EMP LP. This will be the major LP on ETH EMP after the migration, which we'll talk about in a minute as well. So, all right, sorry, I know it was a lot for the first thing, but did that answer, LA?
Yes, it did. Here's another one. Is the bridge live yet?
Yes, so the bridge is not live yet. Futures and the bridge will be coming at a later date, but you can still use the bridge from SparkSwap to Pulse or Arbitrum.
Awesome. Can we provide liquidity?
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know, LA, do we want to do a really quick breakdown? I think we get into it a little bit later on about
Yeah.
how to add LP. So I'll wait for that section. But yes, you can add your own LP now, and you don't even have to add LP on what's here. So, say you have, some other tokens that you want to provide liquidity for. You just create pool, you import the token address of each one of whatever the pair you want. Say, again, I know there's some maybe elephant holders, I guess, or other tokens with BNB. You can create LP here, and you'll be able to again get the fees from creating that. So, and we are actively, again, we have so much going on right now, but when the dust settles, we'll be actively onboarding BNB projects to provide liquidity on our DEX for sure.
Yes. Okay. When will PERPS be live?
Yep. So again, that's in the pipeline. Futures or perpetuals. That's our leverage trading, decentralized leverage trading option, and we don't have an exact date, but it should be fairly soon. I mean, that is something the code is already done. The only reason we paused it to begin with was just to make sure we could focus the attention that we need to on it. So there wasn't anything wrong with it. There isn't any code that needs to be edited. So we just have to kind of redeploy on all the chains as we roll out. So I would say that is coming, as we start adding new chains for sure.
Awesome. And last question about DexSwap. When do we expect GG to be live on BSC?
Yeah, so that we'll go over that on the next AMA at 8:30. But the short answer is very very soon. So again, because we've already deployed GG on ETH, we have to have the bridge up to make sure that the total supply is not altered. Again, those tokens remain locked in the bridge contract and then are minted on BSC or BNB network. So that's just the last little bit we're waiting for, but it should be very, very soon. Again, that same tech was just implemented on GDEX, which we'll talk about in a minute too. GDEX is now cross-chain on Arbitrum and Base. So we use that same technology for GG, so it'll be on Ethereum and BNB very soon. I know the infamous soon, but it's coming for sure.
Amazing. I think we are going to talk about the EMP migration next.
All right, awesome. I will go ahead and pull up the Figma. Is that right, LA? Sorry, I need another screen so I can look at my notes and screen share at the same time. I need like 10.
I'll just give a little introduction. The EMP migration is an exciting and necessary step in the next phase of our evolution. Not only will this allow us to fully move over our liquidity to DexSwap, but it will also allow us to credit the legacy contracts, including DOS, Sentinel, and Defender NFTs and nodes. Fully moving over to DexSwap means no sandwich bots and feeds rewards into Fusion. And so let us go through just a little mock-up of what it's going to look like when it goes live on DexSwap, and then we're going to explain to you guys how the migration is going to work and what to actually do.
All right, perfect. So I'm going to pull up the Figma again. Remember, this is just a thumbnail, so to speak, of what is coming, and this is currently not live yet. The goal is to get this live tomorrow, but again, we just wanted to highlight it on the AMA tonight. So if anybody has questions, they can learn for themselves without having to answer 1,000 questions. So
scroll a bit more to the left because that's the second step there.
Oh yes.
And then just a preface to this, there will be a new EMP token called EMP 2.0. We're going to go into that, but just to give you a heads up on that while you're looking at these images.
Okay, I think we got it now.
Yep, this one's good.
Okay. So yeah, there will be a a link on DexSwap. Again, we'll have a link on Fusion to get to this too, and please make sure you're on DexSwap.com. Do not fall for any scam websites or DMs about this whatsoever. And again, just to give some background really quick before we get in, LA touched on it, but this is vital for us for a few reasons. Number one, it allows us to recover some of the old LP that people may have gotten scammed or hacked or whatever. Number one, and that helps us reduce the LP so that we can have a better time recovering and maintaining peg. But most importantly, it allows us to get fully migrated from PancakeSwap to DexSwap. And again, the reason that we're doing that is we want to be able to earn our own fees that stay in the protocol than giving fees to PancakeSwap. So this is just a no-brainer in terms of supporting our own protocols through this. So and it will be as simple as humanly possible. Again, we'll have a whole breakdown, but we'll go through it now. So you'll come to the site. You will connect your wallet. Well, first, actually, you will want to remove your LPs from the original farm. So if you have EMP ETH LP in the farms on EMP.Money, the old EMP site, please make sure to remove that from the farms. And if you have liquid EMP that you haven't sacrificed yet, number one, what are you waiting on? but number two, you will have an option for a manual swapper for just liquid EMP. But this is the actual LP migration. You will get, EMP ETH LP. It will show you all of this again. This is just the wording will be much more self-explanatory. This is just an overview of what it will be. You will go through all this again. This is the mobile version. And then
This is
you
just
will.
a mock-up, guys, because we use this to kind of create the final version. But
For
in the
sure.
first step, just to kind of condense what AJ said, you will connect on DexSwap, and then there'll be an EMP migration tab, as you can see at the top there on the top right, the right side of the top left panel. And you'll put your EMP ETH LP, and the first step, what it's doing is it's splitting it apart to EMP and ETH.
Yep. So you're gonna approve again so that it recognizes your again. It's all you can't really mess it up as long as you follow the instructions. So it'll recognize your EMP LP. It will then split it. It will then again. These are all the this is all the same thing, just in different formats. But the first step is to again approve your EMP old and the original LP, then it'll turn to exchange from approve. Once it's lit up as exchange, you will then send that transaction through. Again, bear with me. It's every screen is a different display, but all right. So then once that happens, it will again in the background split the LP and then change to. All right, here we go. So this will be the next step. Once it splits the LP and goes to change into the new EMP LP, you will be able to pick an AILM vault. So this vault will automatically create concentrated liquidity on DexSwap for you. So again, if you're brand new to this and you don't know about LP pools or whatever else, you can always break your LP, and we'll do another tutorial on that alone. But you want to pick, a vault to go into from this, and the rule of thumb is the wider the range, the more potentially less risky it is. So again, these are just mock-ups, but it will say EMP ETH LP vault. It'll have its own name here, and then you'll select that, and that will be the vault that it goes into. So you really don't want to just keep the EMP ETH LP in your wallet. You want to put it to work for you. And again, providing liquidity can be lucrative. Obviously, Fusion is the ultimate goal. But if you aren't wanting to be here for Fusion, then you can definitely provide LP. And again, this gives you a way to earn even on top of Fusion as well. So, all right, those are all the vaults. All right, so then when you select it, it'll say selected AILM, and then it'll give you a breakdown below. Again, you'll have to approve both ETH and EMP so that it can create the LP for you. And, you know, like I said, it looks a little more complicated on these screenshots than it will be because it's just a step-by-step process that you'll do. All right. These are all the same still. All right, so then when you again when you approve, it'll if there's an issue, it'll say, you know, insufficient ETH balance or whatever. But if you're migrating over, then it should match up 1-for-1 in the ETH EMP LP. And again, depending on what vault you choose and the ranges, you may end up with more EMP or more ETH. But not to worry, it will just again automatically go through this. And once everything's live, we'll do it step by step too. We're just trying to give everybody as much heads up as possible. So, all right, we're almost to the end here. Again, it'll say success when you've approved. So then click the next one. Yep, and then both are approved here. Then you will hit invest, which means go into that vault. So, and now you'll have the new EMP 2.0, and the Ethereum is the same Ethereum. You know, on BSC, it just pulls it over, and that's it. So, and there'll be again a banner at the top of Fusion to get to the site. That's what this is. And it will also update with Detonator Reactor and all the legacy contracts. So we'll have yet another link that will recognize all your old positions in those contracts. That will be coming probably a week from tomorrow. So it's just one thing at a time right now. But this is the overall, workflow of this. So again, just to sum it all up, you know, you remove your EMP ETH LP from the original EMP.Money. You then go to this site on DexSwap. You approve all the steps and execute them. It will split the LP. It will change the EMP into the new EMP 2.0, and then it will re-add liquidity based on what vault that you choose. And if for whatever reason you want to, you know, break your LP, you can just go to vaults and go to my positions, and it will allow you, again, we'll do a full tutorial on this, but it'll allow you to break your LP where you can get, you know, your ETH and EMP out, or even just skip this step and break your old EMP LP, on PancakeSwap, and then just convert your liquid EMP into EMP 2.0. Again, it's not shown here, but there'll be another widget that you can just convert liquid EMP. Very similar for those of you that remember from the XGG to regular GG, just how that swapper worked. It will be the same for this. So again, I know it's a lot of info. Don't get overwhelmed. The other amazing part is that there is no, urgency. We will have a time frame of about a month to let this happen. But when I say no urgency, don't feel like if you don't convert within the first hour that you're losing out. That won't be the case. So you'll have plenty of time to take a breath and do it right. So all right, I think that was a good overview, LA. Again, under the time constraints, not having this live to show, I think we did our best to prepare everyone. But yeah, do you want me to go into a little more on anything?
I think that's good unless anyone has any specific questions.
Okay, yeah, we can get to that at the end for sure.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
So we've
All
also
right. What's
prepared
up
some
next?
FAQs for everyone just to make sure everything is super clear. We're going to go through them tonight, but then we'll also put out an article in written format so that you have it that way as well in case you need to go back to it. So first question, is EMP 2.0 any different from EMP?
Yeah, so on the surface, the answer is no. It is a new token, but it doesn't. Nothing is different about it. So again, you see the supply is the same. All the holdings are the same. If anything, it's just a new measure of credit. The fusion contracts themselves will be switched over to only accepting EMP 2.0. And again, this is just to keep it fair and a good measure of accounting. And then if you had old EMP, either sacrifice now and get credit automatically. Again, another reason to be sacrificing and getting the massive peg bonus and not having to worry about migrating at all, or just swap manually. Once the swapper is live. Those are your two options.
Awesome. All right, next is what is the time frame to complete the migration? And I'll dive into this one. You'll have until basically the end of February, so 11:59 EST on February 28th to complete the migration. We're going to do everything in our power to make sure everyone knows that this is going on. We'll be announcing the migration all over our social media platforms multiple times, Telegram and Discord groups, email, and on all the AMAs in this time frame. So everyone will have plenty of time to ask questions, know exactly how to carry it out, and it's very quick and easy. So no one should be left out.
Yeah, 100%. And we did the same sort of migration with Spark on Pulse a while ago with zero issues whatsoever. So again, this is something where we've done many times. It sounds a lot more complicated than it is, and as long as you're able to migrate within that 1 month window, you're getting exact value, that you would from the old EMP. And just remember though that after that month, we will be purposely reducing liquidity. So the old EMP chart will eventually look horrible, but you're getting all the same value in the new EMP 2.0. And anybody that's late to the party, unfortunately, it is what it is. And we'll still look at things on a case by case basis. We're taking a snapshot as well for any issues that we can address manually if we need to. But this is super straightforward and should be very easy as we move into the next era. And this is it. This will be the last, migration of EMP because the next step is no EMP left on the market at all. So that's super exciting.
Yes, that is the vision. All right. What about my eShare? Is there anything I need to do?
Yeah, no, eShare is all good to go. There is no new eShare token. If you are providing LP on PancakeSwap or have eShare in, the old vaults, obviously as well, some of the liquidity that's locked in Reactor, that's all the same eShare LP. Um, so that is locked liquidity that we can't access. Just know that moving forward, the main volume and the way to buy or sell eShare without getting hit by sandwich bots or predatory bots or major price impact is through DexSwap. So again, don't sell or buy eShare on Pancake after right now. And if you have eShare, you can provide liquidity for eShare on DexSwap. So actually, you know what? Let me show that real quick, just so people know I did a little bit, but we'll do it one more time. Hang on one sec. All right, sorry about that. Let me go here. All right, so if you have Eshare BNB, you would just click on this. You would click create a position. And this is how you add, you know, you add LP. So I'm going to test wallet so it doesn't show up, but a narrow range, again, 66%, eShare 34% BNB. That is only about a 5% swing. So remember, the tighter the range, the more fees you get, but this is the price that you are selling your potential eShare in, because if the price moves up, you get BNB and have 0 eShare left. So be very careful. Again, providing liquidity, that's what the term impermanent loss comes from. If you're bullish on eShare and want to wait for price appreciation, you need to do a much wider range. Honestly, I would do a full 50-50 range if you're hoping to experience, the price impact or the price appreciation of eShare, or just hold it in your wallet as well. But you won't earn any fees, and you can set this all manually too. Again, the wide range is about a 10% increase, but we've seen eShare go up 11% in one day. So again, whatever LP you're providing, just understand that if there are buyers, you may not have any more eShare left, and it goes all to BNB, and then you have to buy back your eShare position. So
AJ, just a quick question I just thought of.
for
Can
sure.
can they do this multiple times with different ranges, or once you put it in once, you have to stick to that particular range?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So, a lot of people do that. Again, that's kind of an advanced strategy, but it's called like ladder LP, where you do 10 LP. I'm sorry, 10 eShare. At a more narrow range from price point to price point. You do another 10 eShare at a wider range, and so on and so on. And you can even set a range based on price alone. So again, say you only want to sell eShare at 0.1 BNB per eShare, then you can just set that range, and your position is inactive until those prices get there. So again, we could do a whole month-long series on LP providing. So I encourage all of you to Google or go to YouTube and look up how to provide LP on V3 liquidity, concentrated liquidity. We'll find some good tutorials too that we can post. But this is where the skill and knowledge comes in for sure. So if you don't want to deal with all that, but still want to earn at least something, then you can click full range. And again, when we have the AILMs, which I'm sure is the next question, when will the vaults be integrated? That is coming soon. So again, not quite ready yet, but that will allow you to just provide LP through the vaults on eShare BNB, and the AILM will then rebalance the position for you so that you don't have to set these ranges manually. So again, one step at a time, but we're getting there. Does that help, LA?
Yes, that's a good knowledge to have.
Yeah, for sure. And this is definitely the way of the future. So concentrated liquidity is very, very powerful.
Yeah. So if you do plan on going into this and you're a beginner at V3 liquidity, it is recommended to use the full range. Obviously, please do your own research and try to watch a few of those tutorials so you understand what you're doing.
Perfect.
Awesome. So
All right.
should we
Yep.
move on to the next question?
Yep. Perfect. Or yep. You tell me. I don't have. Again, I need another
Okay.
screen.
So
Yeah,
I'll
so I can
answer the
see.
next question and then I'll throw the next one to you. So if I still have EMP ETH LP in the old farms or eShare in the farm or Boardroom, what should I do? So please remove all old positions and have them in your wallet in order to complete the migration. The eShare obviously isn't going through a migration, but you can't do anything with it in the old farm or Boardroom. Please remove it. If you have EMP ETHLP in any of the farms, you're not earning anything on it, please remove those and complete the migration on DexSwap. So next
Perfect.
question for you, AJ.
Yep.
How do I receive credit for my DOS, Sentinel NFT, Defender NFT, and Node positions?
Okay, so before I answer that, I just wanted to visually show what we mean. So EMP.Money, go to the farm tab, and then again, it will recognize your wallet. And if you have any positions still in the inactive pools, or any of the farms rather, you can just withdraw. This all says approved because this wallet never provided LP, but you can just, it'll say withdraw instead of approve. So again, that is the very first step. But all right. So and then in terms of detonator, reactor, all the DOS products, nodes, sentinels and defenders, we will have a whole process for that. So about a week from now, maybe sooner, but just to throw it out there, it will recognize whatever wallet address has positions in any of those, and then we will give a formula, which again we'll publish beforehand, but we're almost there. That essentially gives you the difference between what you deposited and what you may have withdrawn or compounded in detonator reactor or any of DOSes specifically, and then you're credited at peg value into Fusion. So you're not going to be getting the peg bonus because we don't want to dilute everybody in Fusion that's already in. There will still be some dilution, but this is extremely fair. Again, the fact that you get anything is something that we are doing because we want to, not because we have to. And again, if you're still upset about Fusion or whatever else, you can always sell your positions on the marketplace. And then same with Sentinel and Defender. We'll have a fixed rate on those. That again is based on the purchase price and what you may have already claimed. We'll give an update on those, and then those NFTs get burned, and you get credit. And then last but not least is nodes. So again, same deal. Nodes is a little different because it's EMP in, EMP out, but it'll basically be what EMP was deposited, what you've already withdrawn, and then a value based on that. So yeah, we'll have all this in an article as we go, and we're still probably about a week away from this, but that is the plan. And then eventually, within the next month or so, this website will be going away. So again, EMP.Money, it'll probably redirect the URL, but the site as we see it here will now be EMP Fusion. And moving forward, we shed all the drama and dead weight of the legacy contracts, and we focus on EMP Fusion 100% full time. And yeah, that is the next era in this protocol for sure.
Awesome. All right. I think that's it for our FAQs.
Cool. All right.
Because we already went over providing eShare liquidity. So I think we're moving on to GIA.
All right, awesome. So let me pull up some really bullish things on GDEX and GIA. I know I mentioned that earlier tonight, but let me pull this up here. We'll go to GIA in a sec. Hang on. All right, so here's GDEX. That is one of the announcements today. GDEX is now on base. And we saw it go all the way up to $35. We launched at about 17, which is the Arbitrum price, but now GDEX is multi-chain, and again, there's a lot more liquidity on base now. So if you want to buy GDEX, you're better off going to base instead of Arbitrum. If you have GDEX on Arbitrum, will eventually allow you to swap onto base. So there's a lot of cool things coming, and we did an announcement about it, but there's a lot of cool side effects with this too. Obviously the arbitrage bots that keep price parity that is the same tech that we've used on SparkSwap and everything else that's multi-chain. That allows us to profit as a protocol and keep the price in check through arbitrage, which again keeps the value in the ecosystem. And there is a cool side effect of people that want to unstake and move their GDEX to base. You're not able to actually have the rewards from Arbitrum in the GDEX vaults. So you will need to make that decision. But if you're moving GDEX over to base, that means less people in the Arbitrum vault, which potentially means higher rewards in those vaults. So there's a lot of really cool, again, side effects of this that should really help the price of GDEX and everything that we have coming in terms of real yield. And that brings us to the next announcement. So, all right, and that is GIA. So GIA is live. So we said to keep an eye out. We announced GIA on the last AMA, but this is our Omni agent for all things DexFi AI. And we were doing AI even before the narratives of AI really happened with our AILM and other things that we're building. And so this will be a real product. Again, a way to manage and create what we're calling swarms, which is AI agents that work together. We'll have a ton of info on that. You can go to the website dexfi.ai to learn more. And the GIA is essentially the Siri of this protocol. So again, there's really, really cool stuff happening. This is in partnership with Imperial. Again, not to be confused with EMP. Again, it's crazy out of all the tickers it could have been. But they're a great AI-based ecosystem. And Simi, which is a way to launch tokens just by utilizing a Twitter account. And so that's actually how GIA was launched today. So we tweeted to the Simi account that we wanted to create this token, and the smart contracts, deployed to create the token, which is just insane. So, again, great success so far. It's only at about $1.7 million market cap. Still a really good entry. Honestly, in the beginning, you're always gonna have some snipers. We can't really avoid that, but overall, the chart is really flattening out, looking good if you didn't get in yet. And there's a lot more marketing coming from Imperial and Simi, including all of their influencers. So, and GIA will be, again, just like everything in our ecosystem, to max supply. You will need GIA to be able to buy or launch some of the other AI agents within the platform. We have marketing agents. We have potential trading agents. It'll be a full AI agent marketplace. So, and that gives utility to GIA token, and you'll also get a share of revenue, through that. So again, part of the revenue goes to GIA holders, part of the revenue goes to GDEX, and part of the revenue goes to Fusion. So really, really bullish. Again, sorry, I know it's a lot, LA. But does that help sum it up?
Yeah, super bullish. I know we got some questions about, can we go over the other projects, how they'll benefit Fusion and all this stuff. This is a pretty bullish overview.
Yeah, no, 100%. Again, we'll update the docs, on actual percentages. Right now, we're just letting the dust settle and seeing what kind of revenue we're talking about in terms of what's allocated where. Obviously, there's a lot of development costs that go into, the vaults and building this out and everything that we've done. And we don't want to sell tokens, so any revenue, has to pay the bills first, and then we can allocate to GDEX, Fusion, GIA, all the different things in our ecosystem. So we'll do a full Medium article on that eventually. But just know that all the revenue is building up in the background which is really powerful because, we can have a giant war chest to feed all these protocols.
Yes, love it. All right. So next we're moving on to Fusion momentum.
Yes, totally.
Yeah, I'll dive into this first and then I'll throw it back to you. So, with the market being a little bit sluggish off and on over the last couple weeks, we've seen our momentum within Fusion really slow down a little bit. And I just wanted to remind everyone that at the times when the market is low, that's exactly when we stand to gain the most. We have an insane opportunity right now to grow our ownership positions within Fusion at a fraction of the price. Obviously, we've seen it start to come back up today. So we want to take advantage while we're still quite lower than we were some weeks ago. So not only will we get more EMP for every dollar spent when ETH is lower, but there's still a 4.62x peg bonus being offered, which will quickly evaporate as we get closer to peg. Those who play it smart at times like these and build up whatever they can will be those who win the most when times get really good and we're flying. We want all of you to understand that the progress we make and when we get back to peg is 100% up to us and the efforts that we put in both as individuals and as a community. If you look at the Peg Watch site, if you could pull that, oh, you have it up, perfect. Just a few weeks ago, we were looking at getting back to peg mid-March, and now the site is showing in May. And that's the power that our efforts or lack of efforts has on the length of time in which we get back. So we haven't reached our community goals the past few weeks, and it's obviously having an effect on the 1 week trend, even the 1 month trend. And you can see that those dates have increased. Well, as quickly as they increase, they can also decrease when we work together as a community. We can massively accelerate that timeline with a few good weeks. So let's get the momentum going again and really achieve our full vision together.
Yeah, I love it, LA. Again, we're all just sitting together, we rode together, and yeah, as you can see, the last 2 days have been red days in terms of peg and appreciation, but we are turning green today. So again, nice to see momentum kicking back in, and literally again, I know it sounds crazy, but every single individual EMP token matters. So we highlighted the dilution tracker. Let me see. I'll pull that up right now because that's a great way to illustrate. So all right. So if you go to My Fusion and add your wallet address, you can see down here on the bottom right it says diluted per day, 25 EMP. That means that in order to keep your ownership position, you need to deposit at least 25 EMP every single day, or 286 EMP every week. Again, that will be different depending on your position, but these two numbers are really powerful because if all of us just did 25 EMP a day or whatever your dilution number is, if we all did that as a community, there would be no more EMP in a matter of no time. So, again, I understand people are tapped out. You may not have any dry powder. We're never asking you to get involved more than you can afford or tolerate. But that's a great way to kind of help the overall community stay on track. So, all right, awesome.
Yes. And if you can go over the FW Labs tab, I actually did some new numbers today. And so I just want to, again, paint the picture for what's possible and our microgrid values in the near future. So if you had a larger position, 1,000,000 SAC points, it would currently take 216,302 SAC points, which is around $38K. Dollars. And when we're back at peg and ETH is at $5,000, that microgrid would be worth $1.25 million. So 38K turning into 1.25 million, insane. If you had 100K SAC points, it would currently take 21,631 SAC points, which would cost around $3,800 at today's prices. And when we're back at peg and ETH is at 5K, that would be worth $125,000. So if we even had to sell, say you wanted to sell a portion of your microgrid and at 50% less than what it was actually worth, it would still be an insanely large payday that you could have the potential to get if someone was purchasing that microgrid. But when we have all of the EMP inside Fusion, when all of these external revenue streams are really feeding Fusion the way we want it to, when eShare price is rising, and so the emissions portion is paying out more, and we're all earning well inside Fusion, a lot of people are not going to be willing to give up even a portion of their microgrid, which means that there is a potential for microgrids to sell on par for what they're worth or more than what they're worth for people to want to get in. There's no guarantee of that. It could be, it could be selling for any number of ranges, but that is a potential outcome of the future. And so every single dollar we put into Fusion right now has an exponential value in the near and distant future.
I love it, LA. Well said. I couldn't say it any better myself. And yeah, I mean, and even again, I think another thing people, are not realizing, like, even if there are no new buyers, which again would be a worst case scenario, and with the APR, what we think it will be, people are money attracts money. So if there's a way to earn, you better believe people want to get in, and know our track record and our security. But even in a worst case scenario, if there's no new buyers, we as a treasury will allocate some of this real yield not only to Fusion rewards, but also to buying microgrids. So if people are selling discounted microgrids, then great, we can buy the cheapest microgrid there is. But if people don't want to sell cheap microgrids and want to hold out to fair market value in terms of peg, then that's where we would buy those microgrids at peg value. So again, it's not a get rich overnight, but it could be a get rich over long term when everything plays out for sure. And honestly, we're already way ahead of schedule. Fusion has been a massive success. Even as it stands now, getting to peg even this year is monumental, and we're way ahead of that. So things are really looking great. We have everything set up, all the infrastructure, all the real yield, all the rewards, the amazing community, everything you could ever want in a crypto project. Cool. All right.
Yep, absolutely.
Anything else you want me to cover here, LA?
No, I don't think so. But we do have a number of questions if we want to dive into those.
All right. Yep. Let me go ahead and go back to our screen. Bear with me here. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and start taking some questions.
Okay, this first one, I'm not sure what it means. Maybe you know. It says when bribes on PulseChain.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that is referring to bribes as in like, like an aerodrome fork, I guess. Typically in V2. V3, concentrated liquidity, if there's a reward token, you can bribe people to then give more emissions to each vault. It's kind of a way of bridging the similarities between V2 liquidity with a reward token and concentrated liquidity. But yeah, that isn't something on the roadmap right now. Once we convert to DexSwap and there's an actual token for DexSwap, and then yeah, Spark will be merged into that 404s from Cedo. Then we may implement some bribing, but for right now, we're still pretty far out on that. I know on PulseChain there is a something similar with Fast Abdul. Shout out to him, a great builder on Pulse with their 2Fux token ecosystem as well. So yeah, if you're looking for, and I even think it's called bribery, like Burberry, but bribes. I think they even have a protocol now to facilitate bribes on 2FUCks. So yeah, all right. Sorry, that was a lot of info.
All right, next question. How do we know when the altcoin season starts? What indicator do you look at?
Oh man, I like this question. So, honestly, alt season has been a little tricky this cycle. I mean, and I saw a YouTuber. It might have been SoMe. I forget who it was. Actually, it might have been Anthony Popolano. His podcast. But what was said was really made sense. I mean, in typical alt cycles, we see people take profit into alt tokens because Bitcoin and ETH and all the big blue chips are so, in people's opinion, overpriced that they want to buy alt tokens to make more gains. But you know, in other cycles, there was maybe 100 or 200 tokens that you could do that with. In this cycle, there are thousands of tokens that are considered alt tokens. So I do think that it is a bit of a needle in a haystack, but I'm still bullish on more mainstream memes. Um, and again, I mean, I feel like the old man in crypto. Jake and I joke about this. We're the boomers of crypto because we don't really have a lot of exposure to memes. We're building amazing real world real revenue protocols like LA and I and everybody else on the team are focused on building actual protocols, not just a meme token. So that being said, I do think that the alt season will come. Usually that happens when Bitcoin dominance starts falling, and we really haven't seen that happen yet. So you can monitor Bitcoin dominance on any of the major sites. Coin market cap, it's at the top. When you see that starting to fall, below 50, even below 40%, that's usually when we see the altcoins start to run. And a lot of the altcoins are paired with ETH. So when we see ETH start to go up, that's when I think we start really seeing a quote unquote alt season.
Awesome. Another question. Great developments, guys. Can you talk more on how all the DexFi AI and EMP new projects are connected with Fusion rewards? I know you went into this a bit already. I'm not sure if there's anything else to add.
Yeah, no doubt. Just to recap, I mean, everything is under our umbrella. I mean, consider it like, a giant company that sells, phones and cars and, different products over, basically a conglomerate. In the real world, maybe a monopoly that we may or may not be able to have. But in crypto, you can build anything you want. So, yeah, the whole idea is that we're building these separate protocols that feed the EMP and DexFi mothership. So everything that we build is not contrary to popular belief. It's not a cash grab. We're not launching these other protocols to try to make a quick buck. We're launching these other protocols to then feed real revenue into Fusion and GDEX and Eshare and all the now GIA, all the tokens in our ecosystems will receive this revenue in terms of either yield or buyback and burn or buyback and hold of the token itself. So it's a way that we can essentially guarantee price appreciation through real yield. And again, this is the way that the crypto is going. The days of Ponzi's and no real revenue are over, and we've been pushing this for the last 3 years. So again, I think we're poised really well. And Gia is another great example. There was like $2 million of volume on Gia in the first 2 hours. So that gets a lot more eyeballs on DexFi and EMP. That was another reason why we had to launch GDEX on base before Gia. We were a bit delayed today because we were getting GDEX live. All of that matters when it comes to more interest and more users, and ultimately more volume and more rewards.
Okay, on that note, same user is asking how much from the 0.3% fees from DexSwap will go to Fusion?
Yeah, so again, we don't have the exact breakdowns yet, but just as a a rule of thumb, it's about split evenly. So again, at a 0.3% fee, 0.1% would go to development costs, 0.1% would go to GDEX buy and burn, and 0.1% would go to Fusion rewards. So and again, it's a little more complicated than that because we have different fee splits. Uh, obviously the vaults were something that was established before EMP came into the picture. So GDEX gets a higher percentage of vault revenue, but we still get some, and we get much more on the bridge side, especially with Pulse. So again, we're all sharing in the greater good at the end of the day, and it all evens out. Nobody's getting an unfair take, so to speak.
All right, let's see what's next. Lots of awesome comments.
Yeah, thank you all for writing in. Again, we love hearing from all of you. We love doing the Q&A here. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, we've been getting some incredible viewership lately. Our last AMA, we had over 250 viewers. Tonight, we're at about 150. So just smash the like button for sure.
When you add liquidity to a pool, do your tokens stay in your wallet?
Yes, so technically it creates an NFT. Again, not to confuse people, but V3 liquidity, those tokens go into the DEX and then you get a receipt as an NFT. So, technically speaking, the tokens are not in your wallet anymore, but you get a one-to-one value on those through that NFT. So, just like you would, get a receipt for making a transaction at the store, and then you turn in that NFT and get your liquidity back. So again, that's very technically speaking, but in terms of, what it appears like, you still see your position in your wallet. And again, Rabby and MetaMask, we do need to get updated with DBank and some of the indexing sites. So at the moment, it may not show up, but eventually it will. And all the vaults work the same way; they show up in your wallet as well. So yeah, again, not to confuse people, but I think that answered it.
I think we answered this at a later part of the AMA after this user asked it, but I'll just reiterate. If I own EMP NFTs, will those have any benefit for me on DexSwap? So, as we mentioned, both the Sentinel and Detonator NFTs will be credited within Fusion once that stage of the migration comes.
Yep. So again, the short answer is no, but you are getting credit in Fusion for those NFTs. So, and again, I mean, I think that the value that we've come up with that we're tossing around is above and beyond what you would have paid for the NFT and what you would have received in yield over the last year for sure.
Awesome. So Grover has a really good point here. He says also NFA, but one great reason to sacrifice the old token now is it's highly probable there will be an influx of sacrifice, so peg bonus is highly likely to be considerably lower.
Yeah, that's a great point, Grover. And again, we will have some potential downtime when we migrate to where, you may not be able to sacrifice for a day or two, as we go from the old token to the new token. And in that amount of time, we could see Peg recover even more. So yes, it's a really great point, Grover. And not to be inducing FOMO, but we always say that the best time to sacrifice is potentially right this minute, as opposed to tomorrow or a week from now or a month from now, because in theory, that peg bonus always goes down and down and down. So yeah, really good points.
Awesome. Another question, what happens to the EMP I'm accumulating in a node on the old contract?
Yep, so you can claim the EMP that you have accumulated through nodes. You can then sacrifice that EMP, or you can migrate it to the new EMP and then through the swapper I mentioned earlier. Or if you just have, your node positions, then that will be converted into Fusion. But if you have liquid EMP to claim, then do that now for sure.
Yeah, and just to be clear, once we do migrate the legacy contracts, the nodes won't be paying out anymore because you'll have been credited within Fusion.
Yes, great point. Again, no rewards whatsoever in any of the legacy contracts, because you will be essentially made whole, or at least close to, in Fusion.
Yep. All right. So how about having a Black Friday event when the peg bonus is some higher number? I'm pretty sure that the amount sacrificed during that event will be way higher than in a number of regular days.
Yeah, I like this idea. We're always happy to hear different promo events, or different ideas to get the ball rolling. However, I think this particular idea may be a little difficult, just because we don't want to, number one, artificially dilute everybody else. So if we start messing with the multiplier, I mean, the multiplier is there for a reason, and it's dependent on, how far away from peg that we are. But we may be able to accomplish this in other ways. We're doing a massive giveaway through Fusion Watch. So, we could do like a Black Friday Fusion Watch giveaway for the largest sacrificer. That is much more doable than messing with the actual, bonuses. But yeah, I mean, even now we're giving away like I think it's like $12,000 worth of EMP a month between all of our bonuses. So again, make sure that you are participating and getting a little more EMP to be able to sacrifice.
Yes. Awesome. That was the last question. I don't have any new ones this week on Discord. Oh, one more popped up. Is generator going to be sunset as well? Yes, all of the DOS contracts, detonator, reactor, and generator.
Yep, exactly, all of them. And again, you'll just get a dollar value at peg, so it won't be a 4x, 4.5x from where we are now. You will have all the formulas ready. But again, I think once people see what we've done, I can't imagine any FUD. I mean, we're being as fair as possible on this, and it's not because we have to, it's because we want to, and we want to just give everybody that option to either stay or go, and never have to worry about any of the legacy contracts in terms of not only drama but support. I mean, we have to spend money on keeping all the legacy contracts up and running, oracles for payouts, you know, development and hosting. So it just makes it way more streamlined when we can consolidate.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We love these AMAs. We've had a lot of exciting stuff recently to announce, which makes us very happy. Remember, we are in charge of our own rate of success. So the more that we take accountability as individuals and the more we work together as a community, the more we can greatly accelerate the timeline on getting back to PEG and achieving all the goals we have together. So please remember on your way out to like this stream, retweet it, share it. Make sure you're subscribed to all of our channels, and we will keep bringing you the alpha week after week every Thursday.
I love it, LA. What a great wrap up. Yeah, 100%. We come to you every Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Again, I know there's a lot happening at the moment, so just take a deep breath. Make sure you're following all of our socials. do not reply to any DMs or other websites that people send you. We're not, we're not giving any airdrops. So please be super careful with that. All of the announcements and articles will be posted in all of our socials publicly and confirmed. So again, just check in every day for the next few days, and you should get all the info you need. If there are questions, again, make sure to ask in a public setting. Um, we'll help you all individually. LA and Stinky and myself are always in the socials. And yeah, we'll once the migration for both EMP LP and all the legacy contracts is ready, we'll cover all of that in the next AMA. And if we are still having issues, we can do a special AMA in between. But it should be super straightforward. And remember, you're not you're not at a disadvantage by waiting until you can do it, and we have all the resources at your fingertips. So all right, I think that'll do it. Thank you, LA, for everything. Again, thanks to all of you. We're really on the precipice of turning into something really big. I mean, we've said it all along. uh, the infrastructure, the real yield, all the protocols that we built really don't get the shine they deserve, in my opinion. And now I think we're finally getting there, and a lot more people are coming into the ecosystem. We'll be doing a lot of marketing through the AI agents and GIA. I mean, the future is looking really powerful. On top of the real bull run that has already started and will hopefully last throughout the entire year, especially with all the politics and massive inflows into crypto. So, all right, good night, good day, much love to all of you. See you on Thursday.